If you have ever stood in a supplement aisle and wondered what actually matters, you are not alone. Some vitamins are overhyped, some are underrated, and a few can make a big difference when you match them to the right problem. Today, I am walking you through the most popular and impactful vitamins and a few superstar nutrients in order, so you can pick what fits your goals without wasting money. Let's start with vitamin D, because it earns the #1 spot for a reason. It is made in your skin from sunlight, and most people working indoors or living far from the equator drift low. When vitamin D is in a healthy range, people often notice they get sick less, their winter mood steadies, their lower back aches less, and their skin calms down. Darker skin and higher body fat make it harder to raise levels with sun alone, which is why many people combine morning light with a supplement. The best results usually show up when you pair vitamin D with magnesium and vitamin K2 because they work as a team to activate D and guide calcium into bones. I like to think of D as the conductor, K2 as the traffic cop for calcium, and magnesium as the battery that powers the whole performance. If you choose to supplement, give it a few weeks and pay attention to sleep quality, muscle aches, and how often you catch random bugs. Vitamin C is #2, and it is more than just an immune helper. Vitamin C is required to build collagen, which holds together your gums, skin, blood vessels, and joints. If your gums bleed when you brush or your skin looks tired after stress, vitamin C can be a quick fix. Whole foods like oranges, kiwi, strawberries, peppers, and broccoli are great daily sources. A basic supplement can help during travel or high-stress weeks. One practical tip is to split doses across the day if your stomach is sensitive. People often feel their skin bounce back faster and wounds heal a bit cleaner when vitamin C intake is steady. Magnesium is #3 because it touches everything related to calm and energy. It helps your cells make ATP, it relaxes muscles, it steadies nerves, and it supports deep sleep. If you get calf cramps at night, tight traps or jaw, eyelid twitches, or that wired but tired feeling before bed, magnesium is a usual suspect. For relaxation and sleep, magnesium glycinate is the form many people like. For regularity, citrate can help the bowels move. Consistency matters more than chasing the strongest pill. Give it 2 to 3 weeks and notice if your muscles feel less clenched and your mornings start easier. Omega-3 is next, even though it is not a vitamin. It earns the spot because inflammation is behind so many common complaints. If your knees bark after sitting, if your skin is dry and irritated, or your focus fades after lunch, bumping up omega-3 can help. Fatty fish, pastured eggs, and walnuts are food options, and algae oil works for plant-based diets. Quality is everything here. Clean sourcing, proper storage, and taking it with food reduces the fishy burp problem. The payoff tends to be subtle but real over a few months as joints feel less creaky and your brain feels more fluid. Vitamin B12 sits at 5 and is all about energy and nerves. If you rarely eat animal protein, if you have digestive issues, or if you are older and absorb less, you can drift low. Classic signals are brain fog, fatigue, pins and needles in hands or feet, and a heavy, tired feeling when you climb stairs. Methylcobalamin and adenosylcobalamin are common forms. If you try B12, track your focus, mood, and afternoon stamina for a month. Many people describe it as turning the mental lights back on. Zinc is #6, best known for immune support and skin integrity. If you catch every cold that comes around, if your cuts heal slowly, or if your hair and nails feel weak, zinc might be part of the puzzle. Food first works well with oysters, beef, pumpkin seeds, and eggs. If you add a supplement, keep running short unless advised, and balance your diet with copper-rich foods like cocoa, cashews, sesame, and organ meats, because long-term high zinc can push copper too low. Used wisely, zinc often shortens those annoying first days of a sore throat. Vitamin K2 deserves the 7th spot, even though we mentioned it with D. K2 guides calcium into bones and teeth, so it does not drift into arteries and joints. If bone density is on your radar, or your dentist keeps flagging enamel, K2 alongside vitamin D, protein, and strength training can be a smart move. Natto and certain cheeses contain K2, but many people rely on an MK7 supplement because it stays in the body longer. The win here is not dramatic in a week. It is structural resilience over time. Folate, also called vitamin B9, takes the number 8. Think of it as a key player in methylation, the behind-the-scenes system your body uses to repair DNA, build neurotransmitters, and process hormones. Leafy greens and legumes are strong food sources. If you supplement, many people feel better with methylfolate instead of folic acid, especially if they do not process folic acid efficiently. When folate intake is right, people often report a smoother mood, better stress tolerance, and lower homocysteine on labs. Vitamin A is number 9 and quietly supports vision, immune balance, and skin turnover. You can get provitamin A carotenoids from colorful plants, but your body has to convert them to retinol, and not everyone does that well. Small amounts of retinol from egg yolks, dairy, or liver can help dry eyes and night vision. The key is balance because vitamin A is fat-soluble. Most people do well focusing on food sources and being thoughtful with supplements if they choose to add them. Vitamin E is number 10, and the form matters. Tocotrienols are a lesser-known family that can offer stronger antioxidant support for cell membranes. If your lifestyle includes heavy training, lots of screen time, or a diet that uses more processed oils than you would like, vitamin E can help buffer oxidative stress. Nuts, seeds, and extra virgin olive oil bring natural vitamin E, and people often feel the benefit when they pair this with better sleep and better fats in the kitchen. Selenium earns 11 as a small mineral with big thyroid and antioxidant benefits. It helps convert thyroid hormone to its active form and works in enzymes that quench oxidative stress. Seafood, eggs, and 1 Brazil nut a day are simple ways to cover it. People with thyroid concerns sometimes notice steadier energy and less hair shedding once selenium intake is consistent. Keep it reasonable because more is not better with trace minerals. Iodine is 12 and needs a careful hand. Your thyroid uses iodine to make a hormone, and breast tissue concentrates it as well. Sea vegetables and iodized salt cover most people. If you venture beyond food, start low, go slow, and pay attention to how you feel, especially if your family has a history of thyroid autoimmunity. Too little and too much iodine can cause problems, so this is one to approach thoughtfully. CoQ10 takes 13 and feels like a cellular tune-up. Your mitochondria use it to move electrons along the energy chain. If you are on a statin, your CoQ10 can drop, which is one reason muscles feel heavy or sore for some people. Adding CoQ10 can bring back steady energy without stimulants. Many people describe it as clean stamina, not a buzz. Take it with a meal that has some fat to absorb it better. Probiotics hold 14 because gut health is upstream of almost everything. If your digestion is unpredictable, if you feel puffy after meals, or your skin flares when your stomach is off, the microbiome is waving at you. Fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, and tempeh are powerful, inexpensive tools. If you use a supplement, rotate strains every few months and feed them with prebiotic fiber from onions, leeks, garlic, oats, green bananas, and cooked and cooled potatoes. People often notice less bloating, better bathroom consistency, and fewer random colds when their gut is calm. At 15, I am pairing biotin and choline as the niche but useful players. Biotin is famous for hair and nails, and matters most when someone is actually low, which can happen with very restrictive diets or long antibiotic runs. Where biotin shines is inside a full hair strategy that also covers protein intake, vitamin D, zinc, iron from food if needed, and thyroid support. Choline deserves more love for the brain and liver. If eggs are not in your diet, you might feel foggy or notice fatty liver markers creeping up. Bringing choline from eggs or a supplement can sharpen memory and support healthy fat metabolism in the liver. People often feel the difference when they add 2 eggs to breakfast and keep it there for a month. And that's the list of 15 important supplements and when to take and when to ignore. I have also made a separate video on how much vitamin D you should take in winter. Watch this next.